everybody is in attendance except for student reps. They're busy tonight, so we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, everybody. First item up will be to approve the meeting agenda. There isn't any changes that I marked, so.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting agenda.
Motion by Brenda.
I'll second that.
Second by Greg. Any discussion on the agenda? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of approving the agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same. Agenda carries. Opportunity for visitors to address the board. We'll move on. So we have some acknowledgements. We have the Channel 2 staff for live streaming the events this season, and the winter advisors, coaches, and athletes and participants. And Mr. Corp, if you have anything to
No, just thank you to Channel 2 staff and Mr. Howard for all their work and their time in the evenings, live streaming, so people outside of this that are not at the event can watch the events, especially people that are out of town. Also to our winter advisors, coaches, athletes, and participants, thank you for representing Pelican Rapids. Thank you for all your work, your time, your effort. We appreciate everything they do.
All right. We will move on with a band trip presentation from Mr. Fitzsimmons.
Well, thank you guys for this time to kind of give you some of the details of this trip that you've known about it for some time, but tried to get here last month, but for some reason I wasn't able to get here. So anyway, yeah, our band trip is scheduled for March 23rd to March 30th. The cost of the trip for the kids was $25.96, and we have 50 people total going. We have 42 students and 8 adults. And I'll just kind of walk you through what we're going to be seeing in those 5 nights. We fly out from LaGuardia to Minneapolis on Sunday night, this coming Sunday. First thing we do, guided New York City bus tour, getting our first glimpse of the major sights of New York City. Then we go to Chelsea Pier 61, where we'll catch a DJ dinner cruise boat, big boat, on the Hudson and East Rivers for beautiful shots of the skyline from the water and up close to the Statue of Liberty. Battery Park to ferry to Liberty Island. Liberty Island ferry to Ellis Island. Liberty Island obviously is the Statue of Liberty Island, so get up close and on that island right to the Statue of Liberty. And then Ellis Island is the immigration island where the kids can see kind of what that was like back in the day, and there's also, you know, lots of things they can look up their own ancestors and things like that at Ellis Island. It's a really neat place. Then we walk Wall Street to see the Federal Building, the Financial District, the New York Stock Exchange, the Bull, and Trinity Church. We go to Times Square, and our favorite Blue Man group, which we've been doing for many years, stopped doing their show now just last month after like 25 years, maybe even more, you know. So we needed to find something else, and so what we did was we found a student-friendly improv comedy show called 8 is Never Enough. So we'll be taking to those guys, taking the kids to the 8 is Never Enough improv comedy show, which I think they're going to get some of the kids up there, hopefully not the adults, up there and make fun of them and have fun and all that. So it should be a good thing. Then we walk through Central Park. We do the Poets Walk to see Bethesda Fountain, Boathouse, Sheep's Meadow, Lower Central Park Band Shell, and Strawberry Field. We do our band lunch performance at the Trump Tower Atrium. Then we walk and we shop 5th Avenue, the most expensive avenue in the world. And then we get to Rockefeller Center and go into St. Patrick's Cathedral. And once we get through that, we get a guided tour of NBC Studios. And then we get to see our first Broadway show of 3, The Great Gatsby, which the kids are incredibly prepared for. And this was, it's a new show. It just opened last year, so it'll be, we're gonna see Hamilton, which is a 10-year-old show, and then one that's really just brand new. So the most modern Broadway technology and everything, with the kids really knowing it from seeing the movie and obviously acting in the play. So not everyone, but 40 of them anyway. Then we do a guided tour of the 9/11 Memorial Museum and the weeping pools there where the Twin Towers used to be. We'll have lunch in the Oracle Transit Station, which is this giant transit station, really, really modern architecture right next to the new World Trade Center. Then we get to go to the top of the World Trade Center, the World Trade Center Observatory. Then we go shopping in Chinatown and Little Italy. Then we do an authentic Italian supper in Little Italy. And then that evening we see Moulin Rouge, the second Broadway show we'll be seeing. We will do a Meet the Artist workshop with Neil Haskell, who is a star of the Hamilton cast. He's been with Hamilton since the very, very beginning and has played literally every single role in that play, most notably the King. But he's going to sit down with the kids for an hour and just do a sort of meet and greet Q&A. He's been in 7 other Broadway shows, and he was on So You Think You Can Dance. He was a finalist there. He was in Glee and The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. So it'll be neat for the kids to kind of meet him and talk with him about what it's like being a professional Broadway star. We then go to lunch at my favorite place, Ellen's Stardust Diner, with future Broadway star singing waitstaff. So these guys don't just sing, they are, the future of Broadway. And so there are some Broadway singers that are kind of between shows and they're upcoming Broadway people. And they literally just it's just amazing listening to these guys sing. Then we walk the New York City High Line to Little Island Park. That's a new park that they built on the old elevated train, and it's a really beautiful walk, and it's a park in New York now. It's called the High Line. Then we'll see our third Broadway show, Hamilton. Then we get a group picture in Times Square. Go to Grand Central Station, we walk across the Brooklyn Bridge, and then finally after all that we fly from LaGuardia to Minneapolis and bus back to Pelican Rapids High School. We'll be using the Team Reach app to keep everyone connected. This has all the information, the itinerary on the calendar with reminders, and is hyperlinked to additional webpage and Wikipedia information about every site we see for those who would like to delve deeper. Really neat way to learn about things, Okay, we're going to the Statue of Liberty, let's click on that on our phones. Okay, and it's pretty cool. Chaperones for this trip are Jesse Rockstead, father of Nicholas Rockstead, Tammy Hansen, mother of Emma and Hunter, Lance and Jill Royson, parents of Andon and Anna, Dana Severson, mother of Brody, Tara Fitzsimmons, my wife, Stacy Almaris, mother of Tate March, and of course myself as the 8th adult. So that is the trip in a nutshell. I gave you guys the really detailed packet. It does take about an hour or so to read through this whole thing, but you can see how we've got everything pretty much organized to the last detail. And we've been doing this trip with modifications. This is probably, I don't even know, my 12th or 13th trip with the kids. So yeah, it's going to be a really, really great one. So really appreciate everybody's support on this, and it's really, really, it's not just people say, oh, it's a paid vacation. No, it's not any kind of a vacation. You're working really, really hard and seeing lots of really, really great stuff. So, any questions at all about the trip? All right, well, again, thank you guys so much for your support with everything, with the band program. And yeah, so, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to combine some of these, right?
Yeah, I'm going to do the elementary and high school report.
Okay, did you want to just start?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll start with the elementary report. Enrollment In March here is 429 students. You can see preschool numbers and Head Start numbers, looking like they've stayed pretty consistent. Thank you to Kim Hogwood for her work in ADSES. We're going to acknowledge her resignation. 93% of elementary parents attended conferences. Students with perfect attendance in September, you can see there was 317 in October, November, December, January. February, there was 212 students that had perfect attendance. That was up from January, which is good. March 17th will be letters training. April 3rd through the 5th, or April 3rd, 5th and 6th grade band concert. And then on May 14th, numbers with the neighborhood at Viking Elementary School. That's all that Mr. Nelson has. High school, looking at enrollment in March is 371 students, which is down from February of 375. Congratulations to our senior high math team. Our math team completed the state math competition hosted at Spring Lake Park High School on Monday, March 10th. Congratulations to our great Gatsby cast with more than 40 cast members. Ms. Wang and her crew put on a great show, so thank you to all of them. March workshops, staff meeting and PLC presentations that they had, PLCs and a BLT meeting, and then they had department meetings and curriculum cycle meetings. Wellness week, the week of March 24th will be Wellness week at the high school with various activities for staff, including after-school group fitness activities, healthy snacks, massages, wellness bingo board, team competitions, and individual wellness assessment. Upcoming events at the high school, we got teacher workshop that was today. April 5th is celebration of cultures. April 17th will be mid-quarter of fourth quarter. April 18th through the 21st is spring break. May 3rd will be prom. May 14th is scholarship night. That will be at 6:30. May 21st is the last day of school, end of quarter 4. May 22nd is teacher workshop, no school. And May 23rd is graduation at 7 p.m. Other upcoming events, SAD spreads kindness during Kindness Week. Business students will tour area businesses. Cosmetology students will tour Joseph School of Hair Design. And there'll be winter band and choir concerts. And then juniors take the ACT and ASVAB tests, and they've completed the ACT test. You want me to continue with mine?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to come back?
Is that okay, Mr. Martinez?
That's completely fine. He's on a roll.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you have mine up there? Okay, my report, enrollment overall, we're down from February, 803 students to 799 students. District newsletter went out here a couple weeks ago, which is great. Showed all the great news with all the members of our community, all the households. Work session in April will be April 9th. That will be at 6:30. That will be with Teamworks. Teamworks will be here in person. Again, that will be April 9th, and that will be at 6:30. Okay, right here. School board agenda items tonight for approval. I'm going to include everyone from elementary to high school. Acknowledge the resignation of Kim Hogwood as part-time ADSES interventionist. Approve the hire of Marty Carlson as a special ed paraprofessional at the high school. Approve the hire of Steve Marsh as boys golf assistant coach. Approve the hire of Dave Rund as softball assistant coach. Approve the hire of Ashley Holt as yearbook advisor at Pelican Rapids High School. There's a letter from PREA, and that is the desire to negotiate. That's included in your packet, so they would like to, that letter is, we do that every time we start negotiations with PREA. Under business items, the master calendar, just a couple items with master calendar. It's pretty similar to this past year, or this year. However, there's one change when working with the teachers over the MOU with letters and OLA. They would like some more time because their days are being used for letters training. So what we did was we added a day in October, October 31st as a workshop day. And that will help them prepare for parent-teacher conferences. The third is letters training. So usually that workshop day was to help give them time to prepare, grading, things like that. So we try to fit in a day, which means that there's only one snow built-in day. There used to be two. There is one snow built-in day. Next year, days 2 through 6 will be e-learning. A change in quarter 3, I believe it was, mid-quarter and the end of quarter 3, that was a change. We moved it back. Mrs. Januszewski at the high school would like to see the days be more balanced in each quarter. So then we change the number of days in each quarter with that move. Other than that, most of the dates of workshop, things like that, were similar to this year. Okay, so that's on for approval. And then the second reading of policy 504, student dress and appearance. You approved the first reading, so if there's nothing has changed there, it's the same as last time that you read the first reading. Questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Martinez?
All right, we're going to present to you guys for the month of February. Again, our primary focus for the remainder of the year is to make sure that we stay on target with our budget to actual. After all of the analysis and everything, we're right on target. We're at 51% in terms of revenue collected, and we are about 64% of total approved expenditures. Again, this includes everything that we approved in our operating budget for the fiscal year 25. Overall, I'm not concerned that we're going to have a budget deficit. I think for fiscal year 25, I think we're doing pretty well. I think we're going to stay to target, so I'm very confident in that. Again, we always have, in terms of our revenue, we always have a little bit of a drawback. We always play catch up, and remember that the state always withholds 10% of our entitlements, and they do that because they don't want to practically get in trouble. There was a point in time where the state went bankrupt because they paid more than they should have, so they always withhold 10%. And then we carry that as a receivables into the next year. But overall, I'm pretty happy with our operating budget. Overall, we're doing pretty well. We're right on target. You guys have any questions regarding budget to actuals? Okay, we'll move on to the second page, which is our cash flow statement. Cash flow statement, again, we started our balance in our investment account with $3.7 million. We received a little over $1 million in state aid and federal aid. We withdrew $752,000 from our investment to cover all of our bills, and it left us with just a little over $4 million in our investment account. Cash on hand in our checking account, we started with just a little over $390,000. Total deposits were just a little over $840K, of which $752 came in here. Total accounts payable, all of our bills, added up to $728,000. Total payroll for the month of February was $429, and then I had a journal entry for an adjustment, which we'll talk here in a little bit. So cash on hand at the end of the month in our checking account was $72,000 for total cash on hand, just a little over $4 million. Very, very good place to be in. I know Mr. Korf and I always talk about the importance of having good financial background, because you want to make sure that you have a good rainy fund in the event that a roof caves in on you, big water break, or worst case scenario, government shutdown. Okay, so right now some of the information that's coming out is just both parties are not agreeing on anything down at the Capitol. So the likelihood of a government shutdown is very high at the moment. So in the event that that happens, we know that we have sufficient funds to cover payroll and all of our debts. So that's why we always want to make sure that we have good cash on hand. Okay, we'll go on to the next page. Journal entry that we talked about. This is simply a journal entry that I did to balance our books due to an insurance adjustment. So we do that a lot of the times when we add or remove participants from our insurance. So that's what we see there. Is practically our bill was higher than what we anticipated. So then you see our cash being credited and our payroll liability for our insurance going up. Okay. Then we'll move on to our payables. Again, here's all of the payables that go through our checkbook. Questions on anything, please let us know, and then we'll show you guys the backup for it. Any questions regarding the treasurer's report before I move on to the next item in the agenda for you guys to approve today? Okay, with no questions, the second item that we're asking you guys to approve today is the budget for our Achievement and Integration Program. Our Achievement and Integration Program starts with a written plan that Doug and Becky are in charge of. And right now it's a 3-year plan and we're in year 2 of 3. Our budget is practically to meet what we wrote in our plan. If you go up to page 1 real quick, and just to kind of show here, perfect, right here. So ultimately, this is for fiscal year 26. So this is for the upcoming Achievement and Integration budget. From the state, based on the funding formula that they provide us, we're going to receive $167,000 for the Achievement and Integration purpose. Right from there, based on what we write in our plan, we divvy out those dollars. So now we'll go to the second page. So in our second page, you see that we are going to spend $218,000 in direct student services. According to our plan, we do that in investing in 2 teachers that help cover the Achievement and Integration pieces. We spent salary and fringe benefits for ESL teacher down at the elementary, and then a Read 180 teacher up here at the high school. In addition to that, we are the core of the Achievement and Integration Consortium in our area, which I believe we serve 9 districts. And essentially, it's our job to bring all of the districts together to make sure that we give them a taste of a little bit of a cultural difference. And for that, we set aside $2,286, and all the other districts then pay their fair share for some of the services that we help provide. You notice that we receive revenue of about $167,000, but we're going to spend $220,000. And I'm showing this very deliberately because this is some of those pieces that we advocate for in every funding biennium to show that the current funding formula, even for Achievement and Integration, does not keep up with the inflation of the actual cost. So we're about to spend $220,000 in Achievement and Integration, but the state is only funding us for $167,000. The difference gets covered by our general fund. Okay. So tonight you guys will be approving this, which is the budget for Achievement and Integration. Then we'll send to the state. It gets approved. Next year we'll be in year 3 of 3, and then we'll start working in rewriting the plan for another 3 years. Any questions regarding the Achievement and Integration budget? That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so for reports. Let's move on to consent items. Item A, approve board meeting minutes, February 12th, 2025, regular school board meeting. B, financial claims, February bills. C, treasurer's report. D, accept donations. We have student accounts, $80, Lower Clinic. Viking Boutique, $80, Lower Clinic. Special Olympics of Pelican Rapids in memory of Kathy Steegman. $500 from Jerry and Margaret Thompson. Jerry Steegman and Margaret Thompson. Item E, personnel. Acknowledge the resignation of Kim Hopwood as part-time ANSYS interventionist. Approve the hire of Marty Carlson as special education paraprofessional at the high school. Approve the hire of Steve Resch as boys golf assistant coach at the high school. Approve the hire of Dave Run as softball assistant coach at the high school. And approve the hire of Ashley Holt as yearbook advisor for the high school. Item F, acknowledge a receipt of the notice of desire to negotiate from the Pelican Rapids Education Association. So we have a motion for the consent items.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Andrew. Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Molly. Any discussion on the consent items? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of approving the consent items signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same. Consent items carried. Item 9, business items. Approve the fiscal year 26 achievement and integration budget. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve the fiscal year 26 achievement integration budget.
Motion by Greg. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Andrew. Any discussion on the achievement integration budget? Okay, hearing no discussion, all those in favor of approving the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same. Motion carries. B, approve the master calendar for 2025-2026.
I'll make a motion to approve the master calendar for 2025 and 26.
Motion by Brenda, do we have a second?
I'll second.
That was Stacy. Okay. Motion by Brenda, second by Stacy. Any discussion of the calendar? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of approving the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same. Motion carries. Approve the second reading of policy 504, student dress and appearance. Who would like to make the motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the second reading of policy 504, student dress and appearance.
Okay, motion by Brenda. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Andrew. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor of approving the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same. Motion carries. That's the end of our business items. So we have upcoming meetings. We have April 9th, we have a work session, 6:30 here. April 21st is our regular meeting at 6 p.m. There's no school. And May 19th, 2025 is our main meeting. So. And do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Greg. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Andrew. Any discussion on adjourning? All those in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same. We're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for reaching out.